Let me ask you something important. What if I told you that one tiny spice, something you may already have in your kitchen, could quietly change how your body feels in just 7 days? No expensive supplements, no extreme diets, just a simple habit. I honestly didn't expect to make such a difference. When I started chewing cloves every day for 1 week, I thought maybe my breath would feel fresher. But what happened inside my body surprised me, and that's why you need to hear this before you try it yourself. Now, I want you to imagine this scenario. You wake up in the morning, your mouth feels cleaner, your stomach feels calmer, and you feel that heavy sluggishness many people over 40 quietly accept as normal aging. That was my experience by day 4. And by day 7, I realized something deeper was happening, something science actually explains very well. Cloves are not just a spice for cooking. They are dried flower buds, and they are incredibly concentrated. One single clove contains powerful natural compounds, especially something called eugenol has been studied for decades for its antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and digestive supporting effects. Dentists have used clove oil for tooth pain for a reason. It actually reduces harmful bacteria and calms irritated tissues. So when you chew a clove slowly, instead of swallowing it whole or using it only in food, you release these compounds directly into your mouth and digestive system. This is where the first noticeable change often begins. Within the first 1 to 3 days, many people notice improved oral health, less morning breath, less gum sensitivity, that sticky feeling on the teeth in the morning. It often reduces. Why? Because cloves naturally limit the growth of harmful bacteria that live in the mouth and contribute to plaque, gum disease, and even inflammation that travels deeper into the body. Here's something many people realize. Poor oral health stay in the mouth. The bacteria and inflammation can affect digestion, blood sugar balance, and even heart health over time. That's why this simple habit can have effects far beyond fresh breath. By day 3 to 5, digestion is where things often shift. Chewing cloves stimulates saliva and digestive enzymes. This helps your stomach break down food more efficiently. Many people over 40 experience bloating, gas, or heaviness after meals and think it's just age, but often, it's weak digestive signaling. Cloves gently wake that system up. Now let me be very clear, this is where people make a mistake. More is not better. Chewing several cloves at once can irritate the mouth or stomach. The safe, effective approach is 1 clove per day, slowly chewed for about 5 to 10 minutes, then swallowed or discarded if you prefer. This is enough to activate the benefits without stressing the body. Another common myth is chewing cloves on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. For some people, especially those with sensitive stomachs, this can cause discomfort. A safer approach is chewing the clove after breakfast or after your largest meal of the day. So how do you measure progress without fancy gadgets or tests? Simple. Pay attention to signs your body already gives you. Is your mouth less dry in the morning? Are your gums less tender when brushing? Do you feel less bloated after meals? Are your bowel movements more regular and comfortable? These are real indicators of internal improvement. And there's something subtle but important. Many people report a reduction in sugar cravings. Cloves have a naturally warming effect and can help stabilize appetite signals, which is especially helpful for adults concerned about blood sugar swings. At this stage, I want you to understand something important. This is not a miracle cure. This is a supportive habit that works best when done consistently and respectfully. Think of it as giving your body a gentle daily signal to rebalance itself. In the next part, I'll explain what started happening around day 6 and 7, including changes people don't expect, especially related to inflammation, joints, and energy, and who should absolutely avoid this habit. As day 6 approached, this is where things became especially interesting, and honestly, a little unexpected. Up until now, the changes were noticeable, but subtle. Digestion felt smoother. The mouth felt cleaner, energy felt slightly more stable. But around day 6 and 7, many people begin to notice changes that don't seem connected to a simple spice at all. One of the most common surprises is a reduction in low-grade inflammation. Now, inflammation is not always dramatic pain. For many adults over 40, it shows up as morning stiffness in the fingers, knees that feel rusty when standing up, or a dull ache that seems to come and go. Cloves contain compounds that help calm inflammatory pathways in the body, especially when used consistently, even in small amounts. By day 7, some people notice that getting out of bed feels a little easier, joints warm up faster. That tight feeling after sitting too long isn't as intense. Doesn't mean arthritis disappears. That would be unrealistic. But the background, irritation that keeps the body uncomfortable, can start to soften. Energy is another area where people are often caught off guard. Not a jittery caffeine-type energy, but a steadier feeling throughout the day. This happens partly because digestion improves and inflammation decreases, freeing up energy that the body was using to fight internal stress. When digestion runs smoother, blood sugar swings tend to calm down as well. Now let's talk about a very important point many people misunderstand. Chewing cloves does not directly lower blood sugar like medication does, but by improving digestion, reducing inflammation, and potentially reducing sugar cravings, it can support better blood sugar stability over time. This is especially relevant for people who feel tired after meals or crave sweets in the afternoon. Another effect some people notice by the end of the week is improved breathing and less mucus. Cloves have mild antimicrobial properties that can help reduce bacterial load in the mouth and throat. For people who wake up with a coated tongue or frequent throat clearing, this can feel like a small but meaningful relief. However, this is where I need to speak to you like a doctor who cares about your safety. Chewing cloves is not for everyone. If you have mouth ulcers, very sensitive gums, active gastritis, stomach ulcers, or are taking blood-thinning medications, cloves may not be appropriate for daily chewing. Eugenol can slightly thin the blood and irritate sensitive tissues if overused. Another common mistake is chewing cloves continuously throughout the day. This can overstimulate the mouth and digestive tract and may cause irritation or nausea. Remember, this is about consistency, not intensity. 1 clove per day is enough. If you want to maximize benefit safely, here's a simple step-by-step approach many people find effective. First, choose whole cloves, not ground clove powder. Whole cloves release compounds slowly and are much gentler on the body. Second, chew the clove slowly after a meal, ideally lunch or dinner. Let it soften in the mouth. There's no need to rush. Third, rinse your mouth with water afterward to avoid lingering strong flavor if that bothers you. Fourth, observe your body, not just for one day, but across the full week. Small changes matter. You don't need a smartwatch, glucose monitor, or lab test to notice progress at this stage. Ask yourself simple questions. Do meals feel lighter? Do I feel less bloated? Is my mouth healthier in the morning? Is my energy more even during the day? One more important myth to address. Some people believe chewing cloves detoxifies the body overnight. The body detoxifies itself through the liver and kidneys. What cloves can do is support these systems by reducing internal stress and bacterial overload. Think support, not replacement. As we move forward, the most powerful part of this habit isn't just what cloves do chemically. It's the awareness it builds. When you start paying attention to how your body responds, you begin making better choices naturally. In the next part, I'll explain what happens when people continue this habit beyond 7 days, how long it's safe to use, when to take breaks, and how to combine cloves with other simple habits for even better results without overwhelming your body. As you move past the first 7 days, this is where the habit either becomes truly helpful or starts causing problems if it's misunderstood. So let's slow down and talk about what happens when people continue chewing cloves, and how to do it in a way that supports your body instead of stressing it. Many people who continue into the second week report that the initial benefits don't necessarily get stronger, they get steadier. Digestion remains more comfortable, bloating stays lower, morning breath stays improved, and that background stiffness or heaviness doesn't return as quickly. This is exactly what we want. Natural habits rarely create dramatic spikes. They create stability. Now here's something important. Most videos don't tell you. Cloves are powerful. They are not meant to be used non-stop forever. The safest and most effective approach is to treat this as a short cycle, not a permanent daily habit. For most adults, chewing 1 clove per day for 7 to 14 days, then taking a break of at least 1 week, allows the body to benefit without irritation. Why does this matter? Because eugenol, the active compound in cloves, is bioactive. Used occasionally, it calms inflammation and bacteria. Overused, it can irritate tissues or overwhelm sensitive systems. This is especially important for people over 50, whose mucosal tissues are often more sensitive than they were in younger years. Some people ask, can I chew cloves at night before bed? This is where individual tolerance matters. For some, chewing cloves in the evening improves digestion and reduces nighttime acid discomfort. For others, the warming effect can feel stimulating. If you're sensitive, earlier in the day is better. Let us also talk about combining cloves with other habits, because this is where results quietly improve. Drinking a glass of warm water 15 to 20 minutes after chewing a clove helps distribute digestive enzymes and supports smoother digestion. You don't need lemon, honey, or anything fancy. Simple is best. Another supportive habit is mindful eating. When people chew a clove daily, they often become more aware of chewing food properly. This alone can improve digestion significantly. Poor chewing is one of the most overlooked causes of bloating and discomfort in adults. Now let us address a question many viewers have but rarely ask out loud: weight and metabolism. Chewing cloves will not cause weight loss by itself, but by reducing inflammation, improving digestion, and calming cravings. Some people notice they snack less unconsciously. That alone can lead to gradual, healthy changes over time. There's also an interesting effect on the immune system because the mouth is one of the body's main entry points for bacteria. Improving oral health can reduce immune burden. Some people report fewer minor throat irritations or mouth sores over time. Again, subtle but meaningful. Now, measuring progress at this stage remains simple. Look at patterns, not single days. Are your joints consistently less stiff? Are digestive symptoms less frequent? Do you recover faster after meals? These patterns matter more than numbers. I also want to caution you against copying extreme versions you may see online, chewing multiple cloves, mixing clove oil, or combining cloves with harsh fasting routines. Clove oil is highly concentrated and should not be chewed directly. Stick to whole cloves only. If at any point you experience burning in the mouth, nausea, dizziness, or stomach discomfort, stop. Natural does not mean harmless. Listening to your body is part of doing this correctly. In the next part, I'll explain who benefits the most from this habit, who should avoid it completely, and what warning signs mean you should stop immediately. This part is especially important if you're over 60 or taking regular medications. Now let's talk about something very important, who this habit is actually right for, and who should not be doing it at all. This is where a responsible, doctor-style conversation really matters. Chewing cloves tends to benefit adults who experience mild digestive discomfort, occasional bloating, gum sensitivity, bad breath, low-grade inflammation, or sugar cravings. It's especially useful for people who feel heavy after meals or notice that digestion has slowed with age. For these individuals, cloves act like a gentle signal to wake up digestive and oral defense systems. However, there are clear situations where this habit should be avoided or approached with extreme caution. If you have a history of stomach ulcers, active gastritis, or frequent acid reflux that burns the chest or throat, chewing cloves can aggravate the lining of the stomach. In these cases, even one clove may cause discomfort. This doesn't mean cloves are bad. It means the tissue is already irritated and needs healing first. People taking blood-thinning medications, such as warfarin or certain heart medications, should not chew cloves daily without medical advice. Eugenol can mildly affect blood clotting. While one clove seems harmless, daily use can interact subtly over time. If you wear dentures or have fragile dental work, chewing cloves may not be practical or safe. The hard texture can stress dental structures, even if you chew slowly, and this is especially important for adults over 65. Sensitivity increases with age. If you decide to try this habit, start with half a clove, not a full one, and observe how your body responds over 2 or 3 days before increasing. Now let's talk about warning signs. If you notice mouth burning, tongue irritation, nausea, dizziness, headache, or stomach pain, these are signals to stop immediately. Do not push through discomfort thinking it's working. That mindset causes harm, not healing. Another misunderstanding is believing cloves replace dental hygiene or medical care. They don't. Brushing, flossing, hydration, and regular checkups still matter. Cloves are a supportive habit, not a substitute. There's also an emotional aspect worth mentioning. Many people feel more in control of their health when they adopt a simple, intentional routine. This sense of agency alone can reduce stress, which itself lowers inflammation and improves digestion. Health is never just physical, it's behavioral and emotional too. Now let's briefly address combining cloves with other spices. Some people mix cloves with cinnamon, fennel, or cardamom. While these can support digestion, combining multiple strong spices increases irritation risk. If you want to experiment, do so after you've tested cloves alone and tolerated them well. One of the best ways to use cloves safely is to think in cycles. 7 to 14 days on, followed by at least 1 week off. During the off week, notice whether benefits remain. Often they do, and that tells you the body has adapted positively. At this stage, many viewers ask, is it okay to repeat this cycle? For most healthy adults, yes, a few times per year, not continuously. In the final part, I'll help you put this into a simple, realistic plan you can actually follow. Explain how to know if it's worth repeating for you personally, and leave you with a calm, motivating reminder about respecting your body's signals. Now let's bring everything together in a way that feels realistic, safe, and truly useful for your daily life. Not overwhelming, not extreme, just practical and respectful of your body. If you decide to try this, here is the simplest plan that works for most adults. Choose good quality whole cloves. Start with 1 clove per day, or half a clove if you are sensitive or over 65. Chew it slowly after a meal, preferably lunch or dinner. Do this for 7 days, and only extend to 14 days if your body feels comfortable and calm. Then stop and take at least a 1-week break. During this time, don't look for dramatic overnight changes. Instead, observe patterns. Is your digestion smoother? Do you feel less bloated or heavy after meals? Are your gums calmer? Is your energy more stable throughout the day? These are quiet but meaningful signs of progress. Avoid comparing your results to anyone else's. Bodies respond differently. If you notice no benefit after 7 days, that's valuable information. It simply means this habit may not be necessary for you. Remember, health improvements often come from removing stress, not adding more stimulation. If chewing cloves ever feels irritating, uncomfortable, or forced, stop. Listening to your body is part of doing this correctly. Now I want to leave you with an important reminder. Natural habits work best when they are used gently and intentionally. Chewing cloves is not about fixing your body, it's about supporting systems that already know how to heal when given the right conditions. If you're curious, I encourage you to try this method for 7 to 14 days. Observe your body honestly, and then decide if it's worth repeating in the future. No pressure, no promises, just awareness and respect for your health. If you found this helpful, take a moment to like the video, subscribe for more. Science-based health guidance, and share this with someone who might benefit. Small habits, practiced wisely, can create meaningful change over time. Thank you for watching, and take good care of yourself.